Look, in one way, it was quite pleasing to get within 37 points, 7 or 8 minutes into the last quarter. It was really good. It was actually quite exciting to see the guys put a few really good passages of play together. But then to fall away and get beaten by 90 points is a little disappointing, but it's sort of where we're at. We lost one of our players down to 2 on the bench, and we just can't grind through games yet. You've got 18 and 19-year-olds who need some rest, and so that's why it was a little disappointing that we couldn't push through. But bit by bit we're improving. Game 1, 28,000 fans headed up the highway to watch us play our first match, and the noise and the colour was an amazing thing to be part of. I mean, the players spoke about it after the game, the fans spoke about it, the media spoke about it. We know that we had 3 games at the Gabba before we can play at our home stadium, Metricon Stadium. So on a Sunday, to get them to drive back up the highway again was always going to be a bit of an ask. 12,000 is probably about where we expect it to be. Again, mostly Gold Coast SUNS supporters in their gear, chanting loudly. It felt like 25,000 most of the game. But they're looking forward to getting back here to Metricon Stadium. We've got one more game at the Gabba against Brisbane. The first Q clash, great opportunity. I think we'll get a lot of our fans will turn up for that game. A lot of our members will head up the highway again. But then round 10, here we are against Geelong, May 28. Yeah, it's interesting. Look, when you're building a football club, when you're building a team, you're building a culture, you really need to focus on your own expectations. As far as we're concerned, Gary's meeting our expectations. So there's no issue here internally, but I understand it's generating a lot of interest outside of the footy club, and we need to respond to that. Look, the facts are quite different. The facts are that when we travel interstate, we want to give players the opportunity, if it's their home state, to stay home with family. We did that with 7 of our players in Melbourne. We'll do it again this weekend when we go to South Australia. When we go to Perth, we'll do the same thing again. 70% of our players aren't from Queensland, and very few of our players are from the Gold Coast. And so what we want to do is help them with their transition into the new environment, because we're not just about season 2011. We're trying to build a culture over a longer period. We're trying to build success. And so you need to be mindful of all aspects of the players, on and off field welfare. And Gary, like 6 or 7 of our other players, have family back in Melbourne, and we want to take the opportunity. Reality is that all those players did their own recovery on the Sunday. They had a day off on the Monday, so it's up to them what they wanted to do with their day off. Gary, like he always did, followed his recovery to the T. Wouldn't have done anything differently had he been here. Wouldn't have changed the result at all had he been sitting on the Gold Coast as opposed to Melbourne. So I know it's difficult for him. He hears all the feedback, and he would have loved to play it on the weekend, but I think it's unfair to single Gary out when there's 7 or 8 guys that stayed behind and did exactly what we asked them to do. We actually asked Gary to stay and do the TV program on Monday night, which he did, which we're very grateful for, because we need to grow our brand as a football club. So look, from our point of view, we just focus on what's important to us, focus on our expectations, and Gary's meeting all those. Yeah, so we've got a challenging little period coming up now. We go to Adelaide to play Port Adelaide Easter Saturday. It's always tough over there in Adelaide, but another great experience for young boys. You go and play against a hostile crowd over there. Then we head to Melbourne to play Essendon up and about. They're not a good young team. A lot of early picks, and they're playing some really good footy. So another good opportunity for our guys to go to Melbourne and play in front of a Melbourne-based crowd, an Essendon strong crowd. So really good chance to keep improving over the next couple of weeks. We'll hopefully get some of our mature players back. Gary will hopefully play this weekend, and so they'll add a bit more depth to our midfield. We'll give a couple of more young guys a go. It's hard to believe, but we could have a couple of guys making their debut this weekend, which is going to be the par for the course a bit for us. So we're really looking forward to the next sort of 4 weeks, and then we have a bye, and then we play our first game at Metricon Stadium. So each week's just another learning opportunity for our group, and that's the way we approach it.